Crypto has been crashing, but XRP has held up better than most. Although its price has also fallen in recent weeks, it's still up almost 5 times and has shown signs of strength while other altcoins have been collapsing. And this might have something to do with the fact that Trump announced that XRP would be included as part of the US Strategic Crypto Reserve, and that pro-crypto regulations in the US could benefit XRP the most. And that's why today we're going to bring you up to speed on everything XRP has been up to, take a close look at its price action and where it could be headed next. My name is Nick, and if you hold XRP, this is a video you have to watch until the end. First things first, I need to make it clear that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's educational content intended to inform you about XRP. Also, do note that nobody at the Coin Bureau team holds XRP as part of their crypto portfolio, but some other members in the Coin Bureau team do hold altcoins in XRP's ecosystem. And if you want to know which cryptos we hold and which ones we're personally considering accumulating, then you have to become a member of the Coin Bureau Club. In addition to our portfolios and watch lists, members get access to weekly reviews of promising small-cap altcoins, daily crypto alpha, and real-time entertainment in the members' Discord. The link will be down below. Now, it's been only about 3 months since we last covered XRP, but a lot has happened since then. For context, the last time we covered XRP was in the early December. Trump had been elected, Gary Gensler had announced he would be stepping down from the SEC, and the future for crypto was looking very bright.
Future's so bright, right?
If only it had stayed that way, eh? Anyway, shortly after that video went live, a publicly traded company called WorkSpot announced that it had added both XRP and BTC to its reserves. And what's interesting is that WorkSpot CEO Stefan Rossi said the company purchased both BTC and XRP because of their growing adoption and potential to store value. In other words, a publicly traded company sees XRP as being on the same level as BTC. And that's big. Unfortunately, this news seems to have been overshadowed by the 60 Minutes interview with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse that aired a few days later. What's even more unfortunate is that the interview was very hostile towards crypto and didn't even address the elephant in the room, the SEC's case against Ripple. Maybe the interview was filmed back when Biden was still in office. I mean, who knows? Now, fortunately, the news of the 60 Minutes interview was overshadowed by something even bigger that was actually very bullish, and that was the launch of Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin in mid-December. As most of you will know, RLUSD is a fully regulated stablecoin issued by Ripple that exists on the XRP ledger, XRP's blockchain, and also on Ethereum. What you may not know, though, is that there was recently a massive increase in RLUSD's supply on Ethereum. We'll come back to that a bit later. Now, in case XRP's price action didn't make it clear enough, January was a very bullish month. First, Ripple partnered with Chainlink to support RLUSD's use in DeFi. Then, megabank JP Morgan put out a report predicting that spot XRP ETFs would experience enormous inflows once they were approved by the SEC. Shortly after that, Ondo Finance announced that it would be tokenizing real-world assets on the XRP ledger. Ripple also announced that it had secured a money transmitter license in New York and Texas, which is huge for RLUSD's adoption. And yet, it seems that everyone missed an even more bullish announcement. And this was the website for the CME showing that the exchange would soon list futures for XRP and SOL. Although the CME later claimed it was just a test site or whatever, the fact that CME futures for SOL are set to go live this week suggests that XRP could be next. For reference, it's believed that CME futures will help spot altcoin ETFs get approved, given that they were a de facto prerequisite for spot BTC and ETH ETFs. But by the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, then smash that like button to help us out. And if you don't want to miss our next video, subscribe and ping the notification bell too. Anyways, February was when things started to get a bit messy for XRP. At the beginning of the month, the XRP ledger experienced an outage that lasted for exactly 64 minutes. And this is a bit concerning, given that the blockchain also experienced an outage in November 2024, something that was only revealed in January this year. The February outage appears to have been caused by the same thing as the November outage, a bug. Thankfully, a load of bullish news about the spot XRP ETF subsequently hit the wires, with the CBOE BZX exchange filing with the SEC to list the spot XRP ETFs, and Polymarket bettors saying there's an 80% chance that the XRP ETFs will be approved. On that note, some of you might also have heard that Ripple helped with the launch of Trump's meme coin back in January. In short, Ripple and other crypto companies loaned crypto to fiat gateway MoonPay $160 million to ensure it could process purchases of the meme coin during that absolute frenzy. Speaking of which, Xammon, the most popular wallet in XRP's ecosystem, subsequently announced that its more than 1 million users could seamlessly buy both XRP and RLUSD via MoonPay. As we highlighted in our previous XRP update, Xammon is going to be crucial for XRP's success during this crypto bull market, as it will turn millions of XRP holders into XRP users and unlock the full potential of XRP's ecosystem. That reminds me, another thing that we mentioned in that update was that a new XRPL foundation had been incorporated in France. And what's fascinating is that as of February, the current XRPL foundation is in the process of migrating all of its assets to this new entity, including the migration of the Unique Node List, or UNL. And FYI, the UNL is a list of the 35 trusted nodes on XRP which process most XRP transactions. So it's pretty important. The reason why this is so fascinating is because attitudes towards crypto in the US have pulled a complete 180-degree turn under the Trump administration, and yet XRP continues to expand its reach overseas. Again, this migration to France could be a relic of the anti-crypto era under Biden, but the fact that Ripple continues publishing blog posts about its European expansion suggests it's still very much focused on the overseas market. Anyhow, earlier this month, Trump announced that the US would create a strategic crypto reserve, which would include XRP, Sol, ADA, BTC, ETH, and apparently a bunch of other yet unspecified cryptos. Not surprisingly, all of these cryptos exploded on the news. What is surprising is that everyone seems to have forgotten about what Trump actually had in mind when it came to this strategic crypto reserve. If you actually go back and read Trump's executive order about crypto from January, you'll see that it specifies that the strategic crypto reserve would be, quote, potentially derived from cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the federal government through its law enforcement efforts. Put simply, it wouldn't involve purchasing any cryptos with taxpayer dollars, just keeping the ones the US government already has. And this was clarified at the recent crypto summit at the White House, and the consensus seems to be that it was another nothing burger. However, some would argue that it's in fact a triple bacon cheeseburger because it essentially confirms that XRP has actual value in the eyes of the US government. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent actually specified that these cryptos would be counted among the US government's assets. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. XRP's price action and its future potential. Believe it or not, but XRP has effectively been trading sideways since we last covered it in early December. We correctly predicted that $3 would be XRP's local top. Don't get too excited though, we were actually wrong about the actual catalyst. We thought it would be the launch of RLUSD. It was actually Trump's inauguration. In any case, this begs the question of what comes next? The honest answer is that it ultimately depends on the macro. Not sure if you've noticed, but uncertainty around things like Trump's tariffs have created lots of volatility in the markets. And that's fundamentally why XRP has been trading sideways for weeks. If macro conditions improve, XRP could break out to the upside. If they get worse, well, look out below. At the time of shooting, XRP is hovering around $2, which is not only a key psychological level, but also happens to be exactly where the Bollinger Band moving average on the weekly is. As you might have guessed, this is a critical level that has historically served as a strong support for large altcoins. And if macro conditions improve, XRP should bounce from this level and retest $3 before rallying higher. If macro conditions get worse, however, then the not-so-subtle head and shoulders pattern on the weekly chart could in fact play out. And if this happens and XRP breaks significantly below $2, then it could fall as low as 80 cents. Such a large drop at this stage would be unprecedented, but some would say this cycle has already been unprecedented in so many ways. It's really been a truly bizarre cycle. Regardless, it's important to note that even if the macro conditions improve, XRP is going to require some kind of catalyst to take its price higher. You can think of the macro as being the fuel and the catalyst being the spark that lights the fire. So far, macro has been pouring water on the wood instead of fuel, and the result is that no spark managed to start a fire for XRP or indeed any other crypto lately. But let's suppose that macro conditions improve. What are the catalysts that could cause XRP to rally? From our perspective, there are two, and the first would be the approval of the spot XRP ETFs. The second catalyst is a bit less obvious, and it's one that we underscored in our previous update, the upcoming EVM sidechain for XRP. To bring you up to speed, companies in XRP's ecosystem have been working on a Cosmos-based EVM-compatible sidechain for a couple of years now. One of these companies is called Persist, and they recently announced that the testnet for XRP's EVM sidechain would soon be live. This suggests that the mainnet launch could occur in the coming months. Of course, this will be incredibly bullish for XRP because it will make it possible to do things like borrow against XRP in DeFi, something that many XRP whales would love to do because it means they wouldn't have to sell. And most of this borrowing would likely involve RLUSD, and it will significantly increase liquidity in XRP's ecosystem. In fact, XLR's co-founder predicts that RLUSD on XRP's EVM sidechain will create enormous demand for XRP. Quote, when you do those transfers, you pay for gas in XRP. So the XRP holders are still going to benefit because you burn some XRP every time you do a transaction. According to Cointelegraph, he said that most of RLUSD's supply would end up on the EVM sidechain. And this ties into what I mentioned earlier, the sudden increase in RLUSD supply on Ethereum. In our view, this could be preparation for the launch of the XRP EVM sidechain, as there's presumably going to be lots of liquidity flowing between said sidechain and other EVM-compatible chains, especially Ethereum. Lo and behold, most of this newly minted RLUSD seems to be going to DEXs as liquidity. In sum then, there are at least two catalysts that could cause XRP to explode to the upside in the short to medium term, assuming macro conditions improve, of course. And this begs the bigger question, and that's what the catalyst will be that takes XRP to its cycle top. And if you watched our previous video, you'll know we believe that XRP could rise as high as $7 by the end of the year, though it could be closer to $5. Whatever the case, the rally to all-time highs will require some kind of catalyst. At this stage, there only seem to be two candidates. The first is the XRP Ledger Apex event in mid-June, but this assumes that the crypto market will top sometime over the summer. The other candidate is the approval of the spot XRP ETFs, which is expected to occur sometime in the autumn. More about that right over here. Now, whether XRP could rally as high as $7 also depends on its other upcoming milestones, and you'll recall that we've discussed a few of these already, such as the launch of the XRP EVM sidechain, for example. Additional milestones were detailed by Ripple as part of its push into, quote, institutional DeFi, which will focus on tokenized real-world assets, including RLUSD. Ripple's institutional DeFi roadmap was posted in February. As you can see, it includes a series of amendments, i.e. changes that will need to be made to the XRP blockchain, some of which were recently implemented and others which are currently in progress. Ripple's president, Monica Long, has noted in interviews that Ripple's strategy is to make it possible to tokenize assets on XRP, store those assets with Ripple in custody, and exchange this on-chain value using RLUSD. As you can imagine, RLUSD has been a focus for Ripple ever since it launched, and there are a lot of milestones related to it that we didn't mention in our previous update. These include RLUSD launching on more blockchains, a listing on more exchanges, and expanding its use in payments. Ripple's executives have noted that it will be complementary to XRP in these contexts. Not only that, but in a recent interview, Monica specified that Ripple is planning on acquiring multiple companies to accelerate RLUSD's expansion. And this relates to something that Brad mentioned in a recent interview, and that's that Ripple is no longer planning on doing an IPO because they apparently don't require any additional funding. FYI, Ripple is somehow famous for having no shortage of cash on hand. And this might have something to do with the fact that Ripple was gifted 80% of XRP's supply shortly after its mainnet launched and has been slowly selling this XRP ever since. Before you freak out, you should know that Ripple voluntarily escrowed this XRP back in 2017. In practical terms, this means that 1 billion XRP is unlocked every month, and whatever XRP Ripple doesn't use gets locked up again and added to the end of the escrow. Well, it looks like Ripple has been selling lots of XRP lately because XRP's circulating supply has grown by more than 1 billion over the last 3 months, according to historical data from CoinMarketCap. Assuming an average price of around $2.5, this means that Ripple has made as much as $2.5 billion selling XRP. Though, I should note that just because this XRP was claimed doesn't necessarily mean it was sold. Even so, this is scary when you consider that Ripple CTO David Schwartz said that, quote, Ripple can, will, and should act in its own interest. You should not expect Ripple to act in your interest to the detriment of its own interest or those of its shareholders. And this was in response to a recent post that said that Ripple was free to dump on XRP holders whenever it wants because XRP is not a security anymore. And this, of course, brings me to the challenges that we foresee for XRP. The first challenge is something that many XRP holders are hyper aware of, and that's competition coming from RLUSD. Once upon a time, XRP was supposed to be used as a bridge currency in cross-border payments. It was going to be the next competitor to SWIFT. Today, Ripple is slowly but surely pivoting to using RLUSD, exactly like we warned in our last video. Switching from XRP to RLUSD is arguably in the interests of Ripple and its shareholders, and that's just because Ripple could earn large passive revenues from RLUSD's reserves, just like other stablecoin issuers do. Logically then, this creates a large incentive to grow RLUSD as much as possible, and this comes at the expense of XRP. Ripple will acquire companies to grow RLUSD's adoption, and they will likely sell XRP to do it. And this ties into the second challenge, and that's competition more broadly. Ripple faces no shortage of competition from larger stablecoin issuers, and XRP faces no shortage of competition from other layer ones. Even though it is launching an EVM-compatible sidechain to be more competitive, this is probably something that should have been done in the previous cycle, as we noted in our previous update. More importantly, the fact that XRP Ledger has experienced not one, but 2 outages over the last few months probably does not inspire a lot of confidence from institutions looking to tokenize assets on-chain. When it comes to tokenization, security is paramount. And this is precisely why asset managers like BlackRock have been issuing most of their tokenized RWAs on Ethereum. It is arguably the most secure crypto for this. And this relates to the third challenge, and that's adoption. If institutions become hesitant to adopt XRP because of its blockchain's recent outages, then this leaves retail adoption. In theory, most of this retail adoption will happen on XRP's EVM sidechain via user-friendly front ends like Xammon. This will give direct access to the EVM sidechain's growing ecosystem of dApps, all of which can capture liquidity from other EVM chains. In practice, however, it's possible that the EVM sidechain won't be scalable enough to support this demand. As we saw with Ethereum in the previous cycle, even a few 100,000 users can be enough to make a blockchain unusable. Even Solana struggled with congestion issues for the longest time. It's still too soon to say, but we're not that optimistic about XRP's EVM sidechain keeping up. With all that said, though, these are challenges that are unlikely to affect XRP's price in any meaningful way. And that's because they're all hypothetical for the time being. It's too soon to say if RLUSD will affect XRP in a negative way. It's too soon to say that XRP won't be able to compete with other chains. And it's too soon to say that its EVM sidechain won't handle the demand. Again, these are just challenges that we foresee for XRP. It doesn't guarantee that they'll materialize. They're just things to keep on your radar if you're an XRP holder, or someone who holds altcoins in XRP's ecosystem. Though XRP may only pull another 2 to 3x from its current price, some altcoins in its ecosystem could see 100x. And you already know where to find alpha about those. The link will be down below. And that's it for today's video. But if you enjoyed it, you may enjoy our latest one right over here. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you can do that right over here. That's me for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.